Yes. All right. And we are on. I hope so. Let me know, Lars. Okay. All right. So thanks everybody for showing up. Yeah. Took me a long time to reorganize all this, so we are ready. Today I'm going to talk about there's the relationship of how it is that I do my work a little bit different than kind of what's expected. Yeah. The process that I do is that I have abilities that are not even imagined. Yeah. I can heal the world. And I can heal each person individually. And I don't do it because someone asked me. Yeah, I do it because I just am here. I do it. But you have to take advantage of it. Yeah. You have to take advantage of what I provide. Yeah. I don't provide all the things that normally come in a daily life, but I do provide soul therapy, I provide tools, I provide a way for people to make offerings. And what you need to know is that that's what you're doing when you're involved with me. Yeah. If you buy an etheric weaver, you may pay $75, $100, $200 for the etheric weaver. But the etheric weaver is a very special weaver. It's not something we buy for 15 cents, and knock up the price and, have you pay a bunch of money. We pay the most money we can possibly buy the highest quality with. Yeah, we don't go with anything else other than what I say is correct. Yeah, so we had to work with the most incredibly effective crystals. Yeah, and which doesn't go along with the mindset of the idiots, the regular people out there, normal people. Yeah, people who channel. Yeah, people who believe in crystals from the earth. Yeah, people who believe in whatever they believe in. They really don't have the understanding of what's real. Yeah, so in everything that I do, I apply what's real. Yeah, so I don't skimp on anything. So when I put together a crystal, it has to be grown. It has to be made in a grown lab. It has to grow in an exact quality of characteristic. It has to be at such high level it'll be used in the highest level of technology. Yeah, I buy it from those levels. Yeah, and I buy really big ones, grown, very large. Yeah, some as large as 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet tall. Yeah, and then they're specially cut, and we can only use the absolute clearest of the crystal. There's not a flaw in it, not anywhere in the crystal, not in color, not in anything. Yeah, it is flawless. Yeah, and each one has to be that way. And the people that grow them for us, and they come out in colors, blue and yellow and green and orange and red. Yeah, colors that I need. Yeah, so I require those and I get those. But it took a long time to move through the process to get this quality control and be able to provide it for every living human being on earth without taking from the earth, not digging in the earth, without getting crystals and getting all the junk that comes with those crystals. Yeah, all the illusion and delusion and all the other things of digging and getting material things. It can't be a part of this. Yeah. So it has to be grown, it has to be pure, it has to be of the purest essence. Then once we get it, we have to put the best possible magnets on it. Yeah. Most powerful magnets that you can get. Yeah. And they have to be consistent. And humanity has to be at a level of making these kind of magnets, in which we are. So once we were at that point, I was ready to put out etheric weavers. Yeah, and then we just wrap them with a standard copper wire that has a coating to it, so it doesn't affect your toxicity. When you're holding on to it. Yeah. And that wrapping is done by hand. It's not done by a machine. It's not done by, a Taiwanese little kid, for 15 cents, like Walmart. Yeah. It's done by real people who choose to be in service to me as a student for quite a long period of time. And they choose to help. So I say, okay, try wrapping. Yeah. And it takes a long time to get to a point where you can actually wrap one of those crystals. And I say, okay, put it out. Yeah. And when we first started out, we'd be making these things and I'd throw them all away. And it'd be welding like crazy. Yeah. And I'd just crunch them, throw them away. Yeah. If they're not perfect. Absolutely perfect. Because we're doing my father's job. My father's a geomancer. Yeah. My father's in charge of all things that have to do with sound and light and color and life and everything of Metatronic reality, something humanity isn't at all aware of. Yeah. But it's a science that holds all of everything together. Yeah. It keeps it all in a uniformed reality, just like a flower is geomancy. Yeah. All of this is geomancy, but this is applied geomancy. Yeah. Every single thing that I do, everything that I make is applied in a specific science that comes from my father's mind. Yeah. Geomancy. Yeah. It's not understood. You can't understand it. You have to get really, 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 really evolved and get so empty, yeah, that you don't have any logical application to it other than the revelation of phenomenon that you absolutely do not know. Yeah, and that it's God that's doing it. Therefore, you will never know. Yeah, and you got to be good with that. You got to be perfectly good with that. Yeah, because geomancy, as I put it out, I don't put out any instructions. I don't give any explanations. I just do the perfect work. Yeah, and it requires everybody who makes these things to do them perfectly. So when I put them out, it's not an easy thing for people to come up with the influence of building and making, and it took a long time for me to teach everybody how to even make jigs. Didn't even know what a jig was. Yeah, and it was a matter of showing welding in relationship to rod, in relationship to uniformity and perfect geometry, and how to do that consistently every single time. Yeah, so we build jigs for everything that we make. Yeah, and in that we do our welding and we make sure that everything is consistent. Everything, every single thing has to be consistent. I just lost my entire view here. Yeah. I can't see. Oh, here we go. I got it. Yay. I'll get this picture up for you. So this is just even a small tetrahedron. Yeah. It has to be perfect. The octahedron inside has to be perfect. Can everybody else see? I can see. You can't see? Yeah. Okay, well, sorry. But the geomancy has to be perfect, and all the applied relationship has to be perfect. So if you could imagine that for everything that we do, only about, and all the time that we do it, only a percentage of it gets to you. Yeah. It's quality. It has to meet a standard. Yeah. And we lose people like you can't imagine. We may have started off with 25 people 10 years ago, and we're down to about 8 now. Maybe 7 or 9. Yeah. And only 2 or 3 of them can rap. But we still keep putting the tools out. We put out the same amount of tools, whatever number you ask for. We will work as hard as we have to get it done. Yeah. But what happens with these tools? These tools are for everyone. They're for everyone, and they heal everyone. They do things like you can't imagine. Yeah, things that lead you to God. Yeah, it doesn't do anything else for you but lead you to God, and then it fixes everything because you're not with God. You think you are, but you're not. Yeah, and you're serving a really terrible scenario. And everything that suffers around you is the cause of your not being with God. So all I am here to do is bring you to God. Yeah? So if you're attracted to my tools, you're on your way. If you go into soul therapy, you're on the way. But how it really functions is that I make sure that what you're giving goes to the poor, goes to monasteries that effectively help the poor. Not just buying housing and paying people, and keeping them off the street and things like that. We take orphan little children and we move them into monasteries and we teach them all the education for 10 to 12 years. Yeah? And we do this for nothing. We've been doing this for over 1,000 years. Yeah? Raising up millions of people from poverty, into wealth. Because once their karma is clear, their mind is clear, their actions are clear, and when they come back, they're a shoemaker. Yeah? They get skills they didn't have before because they were a lazy person who was drunk and angry and died young and didn't have any time in their life to develop a skill or any character or anything of service to humanity. Yeah? So it really takes a blessing, an intervention to get people on the path. And once they're on the path, they actually become of service inside of humanity. And they're willing to make things or do things or be part of things that need to get done inside of humanity. They cooperate with the changes that need to be made inside of humanity. Yeah. But those changes are dramatic. They got to be made, and they got to be made really big. Yeah. So when I do this, when I put these tools out, I recommend that people, if you're in a country that's not a third world country, you need to give at least $25 when you do soul therapy. Yeah. It doesn't come to me, it doesn't come to a monk, it doesn't come to a nun, it doesn't go buying food for us or anything like that. It goes directly into an account that then goes directly to the monasteries and takes care of children. And I'm telling you, a lot of children. Yeah, a lot. I physically build great big monasteries, and it all comes from the sale of weavers. Yeah. So every single person who has bought anything is getting the merit of Buddha Maitreya. They're not making the choices I am. They're not in the position of caring I am. They're not in the position of sharing I am. So I have to deal with the fact that every single person out there wants a deal. Yeah, they want a discount. Yeah, they want to bargain us down. Yeah. Can I have it for 25%? Can I have it for 40%? Sure, you just took away, 5 weeks of food from 2 children? Yeah, because we're a charity. We're not buying land. We're not building buildings. We're not Scientology. Yeah, we're Buddha Maitreya. Not one person here carries my intention. I do. I'm the savior. Yeah, but you get credit just because you're involved with me. If you walk into soul therapy, you get merit, and that's what clears you. That's what heals you. Because I am so meritorious. Yeah. All my lives from childhood are spent focused on purifying and teaching people how to purify. Yeah. Make themselves better. Now I'm in an age to where I'm sitting here and I'm putting out all these tools and building a monastery and everything, but I have to get you all to understand this is about charity. It's Buddhism. Our first process is charity. Our first process, yeah. I could have easily never built this monastery, yeah, and just never put millions of dollars it took into building this monastery. 150 grand just to put the road down. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody handed me a check for 150 grand to put a road down. Yeah. But it had to be done. Yeah. So more and more has to be done in order to continue what's going on. And no one's, I'm not like, saying, here's a $10,000 etheric weaver. We're going to use the money that comes from that to do what we're doing. We raise our prices at a very normal rate. Very normal rate. But you're very unkind and very inconsiderate in a relationship of your feelings about paying what I ask, which is a really minimal amount for what you're getting. Yeah? Yeah. An etheric weaver for under $100, and all the time and energy that goes into it. This is not a Walmart special. It's not a Kmart special. It's not, it takes a lot of time and energy to wrap these things, and no one gets any ego from it. No one gets to put their name on it. I'm an artist. I did this. I get credit for this. That would destroy those forms. It would destroy your opportunity to have a soul. So I can't let anybody who is helping me go into any kind of egotistical, I'm the only one that could do this because I got the energy and all these people are getting it from me kind of thing. That would be the most destructive thing on earth. Yeah. So I have to make sure everybody is just doing it and doing it hard, and they're doing a lot. Yeah. But the difficulty is on the other side, the people who are receiving the tools. Yeah. They come with CDs, pujas, right out of a monastery from Buddha himself. And when you listen to them, if you listen to them, and you go into soul therapy, no matter who you are, you're lifted up to my level. You're given availability to see Christ or Buddha if you calm down. With your eyes closed, you'll see it. You'll feel like you're flying, and you will be. You'll be far off the ground with me. Yeah. And it's not because you're great. It's because I'm great. Yeah. Because it's what Buddha does. It lifts you up and takes you where I'm at, and that's how you relate to me. That's how you should relate to me. Yeah. So people in Nepal, they have an experience. The money that you give, the money that is offered in the process of people buying tools, from my side, I make an offering for those people without them knowing it. I don't write on the tool, 30% of what you give goes to children, goes to build a monastery, goes to pay for clothes, goes to pay for food, for tens of thousands of people a week. Yeah? Doesn't say that. Doesn't say it. That might, move people, but I don't feel the need to say that. People should know that. This stuff isn't normal. This stuff isn't, the average new age crap that you buy at some kind of psychic show. Yeah? You can go there and buy that stuff and pay very low amount of money. Yeah? Because you just got one person taking up their time of their life making those little pieces of jewelry to sell you this empty piece of shit for very little money, because it has no value to them and no value to you. It's just material things, jewelry, yeah, or psychic objects that are going to benefit you or benefit other people. But all these, every single thing I put out comes from my Father. Comes from my Father. Yeah? Yeah? It doesn't come from any of you. It doesn't come from anybody. Yeah? It comes from my Father, my Father, my Father. Yeah? If you get the weaver, I helped you get to my Father. Does that make sense? Yeah? But if you don't do the right thing, yeah, if you don't see an attitude right in relationship, and you should have this spontaneously, yeah. So I'm going to show this video of people's testimonials in Nepal. We have like 5 or 6 clinics there, and they're all free clinics, and they have everything from dental, you name it. We help people. Yeah? And it doesn't matter if you're a rich person, if you're the king, or you're the poorest person in town. You walk in, you get treated the same. And if there's a room for you for soul therapy, wait your line, you'll get in. Yeah? And people do testimonials, and almost every single one of them are very, very similar. Yeah? And yet, I get testimonials from people in America, and they're not like these. Yeah? They're much more, I'm not in my body, like this 6-ray kind of solar plex, they might see an angel, or they might see, something that's not real. I am impressing a natural thing into these people, and they're seeing things that are very real that I am impressing upon them. Yeah? So it has a natural reality to it, and it has an expression. So that kind of natural process, spontaneous process in the healing in this work is what comes in all forms of Buddhism. Yeah? When a person comes into the monastery, when a person learns puja, when a person learns the offering and the sequence of relationship that happen with offerings, and how we actually dispel and clear all the glamour and impurity in the world by these things that I'm doing, by getting you involved with doing an etheric weaver for someone, yeah, or buying an etheric weaver, yeah, just simply because you have ability, yeah, but you don't have the ability to clear your own impurity. Yeah? And that's the first thing you got to do. And the first thing that happens from that is that you become charitable. Yeah? You start seeing the value of monastic reality and the need for its sponsorship. Yeah? To be sponsored. Yeah? Not so much, just people going to darshans or stuff like that, but an actual conscious sense of reality that monasteries need to be built. Bigger pictures of reality need to change. Yeah? And for us to get to that, I have to offer all of my Father's reality that will rebuild monasteries the way they're meant to be. That will offer to people the tools that they're meant to have, that will bring meditation to your heart and to your mind, to your soul. That's what I do. Yeah? The other side is all about trying to get there. Mine's about getting there, already there. Yeah? And it permeates you. It doesn't matter if you're a taxi driver or you're a lowly person who's freaked out and headaches and you can't do anything. Watch this. These are just the people in Nepal going one person after another. In a day we get probably around 30 people. It's a person saying that I've found a lot of positive changes in me. I feel very relaxed and calm than previously. My first experience, I was a little scared, beginning being alone in the room. Then suddenly I saw an image of Buddha in front of my eyes. It was the most unforgettable moment in my life. First I had a little headache. Later everything was calm and quiet. Felt my body very light as I was flying in the mountains. It was an amazing experience. I was encouraged for meditation by my husband. He said had a very peaceful, joyous experience and then stayed for meditation. She smelled fragrances and felt very light. And stayed in meditation, constantly feel pain increasing and very comfortable, then relaxed 1 hour and spent in meditation. And these people do not understand any of the language on the CD, but yet they're having extreme visions that are coming from the language. Felt peaceful. I've been doing Buddha Maitreya soul therapy regularly, and the problem with my headaches had vanished. This is one of the clinics. feel more confident. I can make decisions in my family now. I am thankful to Buddha Maitreya by bringing the positive changes in my life. I felt as if a dirty baby and an old man came to disturb me, and I realized that I was in meditation. I concentrated, and later I imagined a picture of Buddha Maitreya and saw da-da-da-da. And this is a sign in front of one of the clinics. These are all over Kathmandu, the clinics. Had a headache, and frequency of my headache had reduced noticeably. I have proper sleep at night. See, I have realized that it has helped me increase my concentration and power. Thanks for giving us such a wonderful experience and proving that it can be very helpful. And we do shows. We do great big events for thousands of people. Yeah? And we have ceremonies, we have dancers, we have everything. All of Nepal shows up. Felt so relaxed and joyful. Even when I was back home, I was more closer to my children. And vibration in my hand, when I hold the vajras and meditation, I felt light and fresh. It brought them closer to God. I feel energy and I have interest in my household work too. I can feel the changes in my behavior than before. I've stopped scolding my children, and they are happy with me now. And I'm really closer with my family. I've been suffering from back pain and headache. I stay for meditation. I felt like I was in a monastery, something pulling me back. Now I have found a lot of positive changes in me. I feel very relaxed and calm than previously. This is another soul therapy center. Been 1 hour inside the pyramid. I felt so peaceful and fresh. I believe that I can heal and bring positive changes to every individual. I feel more confident and can make decisions in my family now. I am thankful for His Holiness Buddha Maitreya for bringing positive changes in my life. This is another clinic. Now I have found a lot of positive changes in my life. I feel very relaxed and calm than previously. I was a little scared in there being alone, and then suddenly I saw an image of Buddha in front of my eyes, and it was the most unforgettable moment in my life. And then there's another clinic. So I'm not wasting anybody's money or time. I'm not conning anybody. Not one person is negatively affected by me. Yeah? The main thing is that service and charity and giving and caring. Even for here in the Sangha, if a person is making something or wrapping something, you need to know the name of that person, you need to know the day that they ordered it, and you need to have a conscience that it should be in their hands within 5 days. You're fully responsible for that. But a lot of times that doesn't happen. It gets on an assembly line. People are lost. And I have to hold it together in the spiritual integrity of reality, despite the lack of integrity in the process of those people doing what they're doing. Because they have to stay in their assembly line reality, rather than charity. Giving for every single person a blessing. It takes time and attention. You have to do blessings individually. But in this world, materialism, God and the machine, even things like what I do can get stuck inside of a machine, and be in an assembly line rather than being an individual operation of process of getting it out to people. And even if we're not doing it for individuals, we need to make sure we're doing it as a system so it goes out as a group. Because when I put something out, it goes out as a group in order to facilitate people as a sale. If we do a larger amount in a smaller amount of time, it's more cost efficient to then put them out. So I could say 20% discount. And we're not really losing anything for the children. Because we're more efficient in the process of getting them out, rather than trying to make them up as people are buying them. And just everybody's in chaos. Yeah. So if we can move the way I'm trying to get people to move, then we can effectively help the charity in the heart of people who receive the tools. Because the biggest problem is in the giving. Yeah. It's not in the receiving part. People are receiving really well, but it's in the aspect of their impurities, not being able to see that this object that they buy, this solar form that they buy, the money that they put into it, which was one time, and no one's asking for them to continue donating, but I have to continue donating. Every week, every month, every day, I have a large list of people that I am consistently helping. And then I add to it every 4 months. I add 5 or 6 rooms to a monastery. Yeah. I'll add a dining hall. I'll add a necessary well that they've been waiting for 15 years for. Yeah. I can't do it all at once, but I have a long list of needs for those in the holy sites that are born there as tukus, but have poverty and no way of getting out of it. And the only way they'll get out of it is by my doing what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because we have to build monasteries. We have to do a lot more than what I'm doing. Yeah, a lot more. And I'm going into the East, back into India and everything next year, right after January. So when I go there, I go there to offer. So when I go into a monastery, all the Rinpoches get a Vajra. All the Rinpoches get solar form and an etheric weaver. All the Rinpoches get a full set of CDs. Yeah. And a puja book. Yeah. Of my Dispelling World Glamour. Yeah. Even the Dalai Lama got that. Yeah. Truly, Dalai Lama got his puja book from me. A Vajra, all the things I give to everybody else has been handed over to the Dalai Lama. Yeah, directly from Drepung University. Yeah, so even though no one knows this shit is going on, it is going on, and all of it is done for free. I have to pay for those books. Yeah, I have to pay and make those Vajras. No income comes back on those. So it's in the charitable aspect of what I'm doing that very little of what people understand. If people would just understand that this is what goes on, and every single time you're involved in my monastery, yeah, it is a process of giving and sharing and caring. Yeah, it's not a process of us making as many weavers as we can to sell weavers to make money. Yeah, each weaver goes out to save a soul, and included in it, I use that money for that person to offer it up to God. Does that make sense? When you're buying the weaver, do you actually think you're standing in the greatest temple on earth and the money that you're giving for that weaver is going directly to God? You don't think that, but you ought to. Yeah? Because everything in this little operation is 100% totally for God. Yeah? And it's 100% in the offering of charity. Yeah. So it's extremely important for people to get a grip on what it is that they're receiving. And even the building of this monastery, the meditation and all the clinical things that I have here, the main things are the tools and the music. Yeah. So this process is for when people come here, it's not for us to make money. It's for us to help make that circle so people know that they're part of a monastery, they're part of an ashram. You have the tools, you are part of an ashram. Yeah? Now you should go to the ashram. It's been built for you. Does that make sense? Yeah? But if you don't see it in this way, you'll never see yourself, and you'll never go to the ashram, and you won't meet God. That sucks. That's an idiot of idiot. That's so stupid. Yeah? And it's all based on greed. It's all due to greed. Yeah? You'd see way beyond that if when a person gets a weaver and they're explained, not just like the monk or nun goes, well, all this and this goes all to these people and everything like that. That really doesn't reach into them, because all they really want is for you to shut up and sell them the weaver and let them go. Yeah. Because no one really has the ashramic activity. Yeah. They don't know that when you get the weaver, you're in the first stage of becoming a monk or a nun. Yeah. And there is no, no process of anything I'm doing to make you do it. It's a process of you stop the process of stopping you from doing it. Stopping you from being a child of God. You should have heard this a million times from me as Jesus. I explained it over and over and over. There is a house. Everybody's got a room. Yeah? But you're so freaking guilt-ridden. You left the house and you never can think you can come back. And it's not true. Yeah? The room never changes. Relationship to the Father never changes. And no one gets your room. Yeah? But if you're selfish, you're in your own house. You're doing your own thing. Does it make sense? Yeah? Because your life is offered to you, and when you wake up, you're going to know that, and then you're going to offer back, giving thanks for this process. And I'm giving the opportunity for that to happen. Yeah? So people can just kind of like be a little bit more openly giving, yeah? And in any way, shape, or form, but at least in their heart, have an open relationship to what it is that is happening when you're involved in any of my work. Yeah, yeah, because you have the opportunity to take a pyramid home. You have an opportunity to take every single thing that Christ uses. Yeah, in all the monasteries, in all the things of healing the planet, are openly available to people without you having to prove you have been purified enough to handle it. In Tibetan Buddhism, you have to be empowered. You got to go through initiations. You got to go through all kinds of shit in order to feel right and be right, and receiving the next level of movement, of empowerment. I don't do that. Yeah, I have absolute control over the relationship of empowerment, because there is no false prophets. Nothing like that. No one's judging anything. It just passes through the one, comes back out the one, and you're cleaner for it. Does that make sense? Yeah. But if you don't have right relationship to the one, and you get these tools where the opportunity sits, yeah, and you don't have right relationship to that, yeah, then the influence of what's going on the monastic level kind of misses the mind. Yeah. Yeah. So in order to stabilize the mind, it's important for me to get the tools out there, but it's more important for people to realize the value behind the tools and how they're done. Yeah. Not who makes them or all that stuff, but the value behind the tools. Yeah. That they're designed by Jesus Christ. That no one makes them other than Jesus Christ. No one person on earth makes these tools. Nobody. Yeah? Because everybody dies. Yeah? They're all temporary. So nothing's left in the tool. The tool goes on for 1,000, 10,000 years. That person is a fraction of a tiny adamant to the tool. But Buddha illuminates the tool and makes it its geometric etheric field. True. But a regular person sees the tool and has no idea what the tool is. Does that make sense? There's no imbued reality to it. And if no imbued reality, there'll be no charity. Yeah. Because you got to see beyond the phenomenon of matter in its mundaneness. Yeah. Because every tool that goes out, it's not about the perfection of how it's made. It's about who made it. Yeah. And everything that I put out is made by me. Yeah. So when it goes out, it also gets a name. Yeah. And it didn't have a name before it got to me. Does that make sense? So everything in my science, everything, is reborn through the process of the word, through the science of Metatronics, by my physical incarnation of choosing to label things in the form that they were created. Yeah? The way my father designed it. Yeah? So words and science and things like that come into it. And yet, you're not, people aren't doing anything to try and get that. Like you go to a monastery, you study, you memorize. That's not required in my process. You receive wisdom, imbued from light, yeah, by my charitable acts. Does that make sense? Yeah. If I wait 67 years or 70 years and be the last person enthroned, that's a charitable act. Does that make sense? Yeah. Where you got two karmapas, one over here, you got one over here, Neither one of them know each other, They both come from the same body. Yeah. It's just a complete confusion as to how this whole thing works. Because the karmapa's too connected to what he thinks is karmapa. Yeah. There's no real charity begets wisdom. Yeah. So in my process, I can make these tools and have these tools go out forever. But unless there's charity behind them, yeah, people forget to play the tape. Yeah. People forget, what's the name of this? A weaver. Oh yeah, I've had it in a drawer for about 10 years. I haven't really pulled it out. Yeah. Because even though it goes out with enormous light, with constant charity, and it never changes. I've never changed. If anybody's ever known me, I don't change. Yeah? I am the most unchanging thing you've ever met. Yeah? The only thing that changes in me is your view of me. Yeah? Does that make sense? And me, I don't change. You just get clearer, and I just stay the same. Yeah? And that could be for hundreds of thousands of years. Like that, yeah. But you just go from caveman to, Mexican to Japanese to, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah. And it's a very different thing, yeah. But when we're working in this way, when we actually take charity and move charity with a mind of knowing, then you're taking the first, what's known as a pith, not a piss. A pith, yeah? You're purifying something through an action, yeah? And your action has to have intention. What is the action? The action is, I'd like to buy that etheric weaver, yeah? That's a pith, yeah? Or is it the person who's wrapping the etheric weaver, yeah? I'm going to do as many as I can, do them perfectly as I can, and I'm never going to think that it has any negative effect on my reality. Because there is no such thing. I don't even exist. And that moves further and further and further into a metaphysical reality to where a person becomes a master. The difference between a master and a lay person who's not, a master does 100 in a day. Impossible. Lay person does 10. Because they think that's the only thing that's possible. The master has no limitation of possibility. And at the end of the day, they are always surprised. They've done more than they think because their service is so much more perfected than it was yesterday. Does that make sense? That's a master. It is an evolving state. If it's not evolving, then guess what? There's never been any application since day one. Does that make sense? So the person's still, I started 20 years ago and I'm still doing 10. Does it make sense? Yeah. There's all kinds of things in the creative mind that goes from the 7th ray up to the 3rd ray, 6th ray to the 2nd ray that makes martial arts a happening thing. Yeah? And you don't attain martial arts unless that is what you're choosing to do. And that means you're going to choose to do the hard thing. You're choosing to put your hand through 5 bricks. Choosing to do that. Yeah? You're not going to get it through a quarter brick the first time. Yeah. You're going to do sand in the beginning. Bam, bam, bam to sand. Yeah. That's what you do. I did it. I did years of karate, years of aikido, all kinds of martial art. Yeah. You know, you name it. I did it. It's a nature in me. You know, but the process in anybody of what we're doing in order to attain mastery, we have to get like kung fu. Yeah. We have to make sure that we're doing it in mastery, whether we're cooking, yeah, whether we're cleaning, no matter what we're doing it so good, yeah, it's done so efficiently and so quickly because it's charity. Does that make sense? Yeah. When it's charity, it's like air, it's like wind, it fits with everything. It's so fast. You literally can fly if you learn charity. Yeah? You can go from one space to the next without walking there if you know charity. It's worth doing. Yeah? Because if you know that one, you'll get all 9 impurities out of the way. And all the devils that's telling you that you are dying and you're degenerating and that little thing over there is cancer and all these things that are constant impurities in you, keeping you self-centered and being your own doctor rather than aligning to God. Yeah? Does that make sense? Because that analytical, logical mind is going to kill you because thought form building creates that cancer cell that's going to go where you're thinking you got it. You know? And then you're going to go, see, I knew it. I should have been a doctor. You know? Huh. That's horrifying. How many doctors are killing people by projecting that that illness does exist? And those people agree with it. Yeah? Yeah. It's like, 4-minute mile. Don't be stupid. There's no such thing. Yeah. Not in reality. Not in Kung Fu. In Kung Fu, you can levitate. Yeah. In Kung Fu, you can stand on the tip of a stick. Yeah. Now, every human being could do that. Yeah. It has no special powers to do such a thing. It's just imagine. Every time you fall down, you get back up and you keep doing it. But you're led by a master who's already done it. Yeah. So the main thing is that you have to listen to the master who tells you assembly is wrong. You can't do it this way. You have to do it this way. Yeah. And that's the master talking, not the student. Does that make sense? Because the student is always blind. They can't hear. They can't see. They can't taste. Yeah, does that make sense? So unless you have a master, you're never going to be a master. Yeah? Unless you don't have any intention of being a master. Yeah? And if you don't have an intention of being a master, imagine barking. Because this is an opportunity. And in my world, if you don't have the right goal, you're not asked back. We have too much room for dogs and cats and animals and insects. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because if you look at your characteristics, you'll find they're much more animal related. They're much more parasitic related. Yeah. Habitual patterns like ants. Yeah. They're much more related to that than they are to your divine human nature. Yeah. Which is phenomenal. Telepathic, you can levitate, you can dematerialize, you could do all kinds of really super special natural things. Yeah. But not as an insect, not as a dog, not as a cat or a buffalo. Yeah. But you can be as stupid as a buffalo and gregarious, and pushy and obstinate. Yeah. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you got a better chance of reincarnating as a buffalo if you continue. Does that make sense? Yeah. I hope so, because it's really important. Yeah, because I'm putting billions of buffalo back on Earth. And they ain't coming from air. They're coming from people who are not willing to stop the repetitive nature of not caring. And they get to work listening to the master, receiving exactly what the master says, follow it through, and find that they don't have a limitation and he is not crazy. Does that make sense? Yeah? Because doing that goes directly to his father. Yeah? And your future is set almost in stone after a while. And there's no repeat relationship. Yeah? There's hardly anybody from the Jesus period talking to me. Does that make sense? Yeah? If they're walking around with a great big frown. Yeah? There's no spiritual empowerment, there's no spiritual impact coming from that life because the relationships weren't right. So karma is karma. I keep going, and everybody else keeps going through doing what the animals did. Yeah? You're going to act like a crow. You're going to act like a chicken. Remember what Jesus said to his disciples? You're going to behave like a chicken. You are going to behave like a crow. Yeah? And the three of you are going to deny me like an idiot. Yeah? And it's just, that's the last days of being with that person, and that's certainly going to have a good reconnected reality. Yeah? So there's all these my going forward scenario, it doesn't hold anything back inside of humanity. The key is that I'm unchanging. When I say there's a house, there's always going to be a house. Doesn't matter whether or not you have a doubting Thomas mind or not. If you put the effort into it, you will walk on water. If you put the effort into it, you will heal everybody just like I do. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah? Because it's not just magic I'm doing the healing with. Yeah? It's a process of charity and getting outside of limitation. All the healings that I do are done in a way that it has to do with alternate time and space. I heal people at a distance. Every single person I heal at a distance. No one really considers that. Yeah? But if you want to be my disciple, you better get your ass together. Yeah? You got to go way beyond the limitation of what you see as a material limitation. Because I'm not playing in that area. I'm healing people at a distance. I'm effectively changing the outcome of material reality, giving you electric cars, giving you things that are not consciously anything of your own desire. Yeah? I am manifesting them for you. Yeah? Not through your desire, yeah, but through God's will. Yeah? Does that make sense? That's mastery. That means I do not see limitation even beyond all of humanity following God's will. I see no limitation. Yeah? So we all got to get way beyond this limited scenario of what we think we can do, because this is not a real world. It's a phenomenon. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. All right, so let's do invocation, evocation. I'm going to give I want to show my little karmapa. This is my karmapa. See my little karmapa? Yeah, that's me when I was a little boy. And this is me with my other hat. Like that. Yep. And then this is me with my other hat. Yep. I got a lot of me. And I study. And I study like that. Real hard. I do every day. I am exactly like this. I don't care if you think I'm some silly ass American boy, but this is me and these are my expressions. And that's me on a daily basis. So I really, yeah. And I do this. I offer music. Because that was what you're supposed to do. Yeah. And one day I'll show you the mudras that go with that. And this is, oh God, I can't lose my hats. And here I am debating. This is what I'm doing right now. When I give teachings, I'm actually debating. Debating is taking the truth that you know, the truth, yeah, And then you say that truth, and you let people respond to it, react to it, not say something. In debating, they normally do. They go, oh, I'm not too sure, and then they debate back what they think that clearer truth is. So you go back and forth on that, yeah? So that's what I'm doing. I'm debating. See? That's me. Yeah. This is me too. Vajradhara. That's me. Dorje tsong. All kinds of things. And then this one is from the 16th Karmapa, the last Karmapa. It was passed on to me. That's nice. All right, that's all my little things. They were given back to me today, so I really like them. They're nice. Okay. All right. This is a very long mat. Okay. All right, just relax. Just repeat after me. I invoke the power, the love, and the wisdom of my ashram, soul, and monad. To guide me into the right activity in the plan. To clarify and stimulate my mind. To energize and vitalize and heal my physical and etheric body. So there is a normal flow of energy in my physical and etheric body. Through this day and every day, I ask this in the name of the Christ to serve the One. All in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. know its life. I therefore know my mother. I use a body. That body is not me. I serve the group, and in this serving live within the body, detached, a son of God. I know myself. I infuse a body. I am its life, and in that life shall I see life. That life is known as love. I am the love of God. I know the Father, and I know His life is love. I am the body and its loving life. I am the self, whose quality is love. I am the life of God Himself. The Mother, Father, Son, am I. Behind these three stands the unknown God. That God am I. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of mankind. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of mankind. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men and women, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, we call the race of mankind. Let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth.
of love of God. 7. The colors of the manifesting one. 7-fold the work. 7. The energies. And 7-fold the path back to the center of peace. Let the disciple live in love, and love in life. The soul is the Son of God, the product of the union of spirit and matter. The soul is an embodiment of consciousness of mind, the expression of divine intelligent awareness. The soul is a unity of energy, vibrating in unison with one of the 7 ray lives, and colored by a particular ray of light. The personality of the soul is the embodiment of love, applied intelligently, producing an attractive form which will serve to express that loving intelligence. The soul is intended to be the embodiment of divine purpose, applied in great active creativity, which produces the power of creative love. We are born of the love of Father for the Mother, of the desire of life for form. Express the love, the magnetic attractiveness of God's nature, and the responsiveness of form nature, and the I am consciousness itself of the awareness of deity in life. Endowed endowed with the most perfect and most marvelous siddhas. You're renowned as a lotus board, surrounded by a circle of many dakinis. Following after you, perfecting myself, I pray that you come and bless me and all mankind. Endowed with all the siddhas, the feet of great bliss. May all obstacles be removed and Mara be subdued. We pray for your blessings. May all outer, inner, and secret obstacles be allayed. May all our aims succeed through your blessings. By this virtue, may I quickly accomplish the state Ogidin Pima, and may I establish all beings without a single exception in this place. By Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, measureless in number, joy and happiness, without limit in this land called Dewa Chin. May I be born there as soon as I pass from this life, without taking birth anywhere else in the meantime. Having been born there, may I see Amitabha's face. May the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions give their blessings that this wish be expressed and this prayer be accomplished without hindrance. Victor of the 3 times, who continuously enjoys the wheel of the feast of great bliss. I pray that with your lineage of gurus and disciples, you I and all others gather the accumulations and discard mental veils. Then may we quickly be established on the level of I invoke the victorious Buddhas and their heart sons, together with the assembly of lamas, yidams, dakinis, and dharma protectors, as numerous as the dust of the fields. To those sitting on a lotus and moon seat in the sky in front of me, I respectfully pay homage, with body, speech, and mind. I offer the essence of the outer, the inner, in secret offerings in the presence of the Supreme Buddhas. I regret my former evil actions and completely acknowledge my present misdeeds. I vow henceforth not to commit these negative acts. I rejoice in all meritorious and virtuous activity. May the assembly of victorious Buddhas not pass into nirvana, but remain to turn the wheel of the supreme dharma and teach the three scriptures. I dedicate all my spiritual merit to the stream of beings in order that they may reach the supreme liberation. I pray that the Buddhas and their heart sons will hold me in their thoughts. May this excellent aspiration, which I am now beginning, lead me into the footsteps of the victorious Samajahata, his sons, and the noble Manjushri. May the precious lamas, the glorious doctrine, be as all-pervasive as the sky. May they shine upon beings as the sun and the moon, and endure as the mountains. May the precious Sangha, the foundations of the teachings, be enriched by harmony, pure discipline, and the three trainings. May those practicing the secret teachings, the essence of the doctrine, maintain their vows and reach the final stages of development and fulfillment. May the benefactor of the teachings, the king of the dharma protectors, increase his domain and support the teachings. May the servants of the teachings, the ministers of the royal lineage, have increasingly excellent knowledge and skill. May the prosperous householders, sustainers of the teachings, be at ease and free from sickness and danger. May the people of all lands, having confidence in the teachings, have happiness and comfort, free from all obscurations. May I, the yogin, remaining on the path, not break my commitments and accomplish my intentions. May all these to whom I am connected be, by good or by bad karma, be held by the Buddhas from now until final enlightenment. May all beings enter the door of the peerless vehicle and attain the Buddha realm. By this merit, may we become omniscient from this attainment after defeating all faults and evil thoughts through endless storms of birth, old age, sickness, and death. May we be liberated from all beings from the suffering in the three worlds. Om Mani Padme
Just relax. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. So in the process of charity, in giving, the process is not in the choice of who you give to or how you give. It's in your ability to respond. Yeah, it's got to be 24/7, and it can't have any kind of bias of any kind. Yeah, it has to be completely unconditional. Yeah, at least that's where I come from, and that's where everybody's going to learn from. Yeah, so in cases like, you don't imagine Nepal's going to have the worst earthquake on Earth. Yeah, and all of Kathmandu is really devastated, and Swayambhu, my temple, is basically wiped out. My monastery is wiped out. Yeah, everybody knows it, but I never received a call. I never received an email from any of my students, any of my Western students, or anything like that, in relationship to how's your monastery, how's the kids, how's things going, and well, just to let you know, we built another monastery, with help from people from afar, that gave over the last 3 years to build a monastery in Nepal, in Kathmandu, that is bigger for the children, and so that we can support more children. And so we supported another 150 that became monks, and another 28 girls who became nuns, and are now all of them are working in that relationship. Yeah, so we have a really big monastery that has been built, and it's completed, and it's established in Nepal, in Kathmandu, and it's the Karmapa's monastery. Yeah, and we have several in that way. That in Tibet, we have Yampajin that was just restored after I went there and I was enthroned. So these monasteries, the Karmapa is helping with. He's financing. Shamar Rinpoche did everything he could before his death to build the monastery I just talked about. The one that took the place, the Karma Raj, after it was destroyed. Luckily, we had already started construction over a 2-year period on the new monastery. So we were able to move the kids and all the adult monks out of Swayambhu and into the new monastery. So there was no one was hurt and nothing was lost. But we still need to restore that monastery, which is what I'm going to do. And Karmapa of Shamar Rinpoche Karmapa went there and showed the video of it the other day, where he went to Nepal, he looked at the damage, and he has committed to the restoration of our monastery. So I'm really happy about that. Because I did that hundreds and hundreds of years ago, and thousands of years ago I created Swayambhu. It's my seat. It's where I originally came from. That's how I got here, was sitting on top of that. So whether I'm Manjushri or whether I'm Sakyamuni or whether I'm Maitreya, whatever incarnation I come in as Buddha, my original comes in through Swayambhu. And it's known as the Logos, the point of the Logos. And at that point, at that location, is a place where I bless the earth so greatly that many of my future incarnations would be able to pass through there and be blessed by that and be able to continue living and exist. So as Jesus, I went there. As Shiva, I lived there. And all my incarnations, I have gone through there or have been incarnated there. Yeah. So I feel a very strong relationship to Nepal. That's why I have all the clinics there. I have thousands of monasteries throughout the regions of Nepal. And all of them, I'm the senior Rinpoche. Yeah. But due to the fact that I'm kind of in exile, and it's up to everybody's opinion to decide whether or not they believe in me, I'm not able to help restore these monasteries in the way that I should. I can. Yeah, and if I did, if people were to consider, that, helping their family get an etheric weaver, helping their family get a pyramid, helping people in their school to get a meditation system and start the process in prisons and start the process in hospitals, all those things, if people were really move forward to bring my work out there and bring it into action as a charitable act, not as a personal act, this is my etheric weaver and I'll let you borrow it, but as a charitable act of getting Christ into the world and saving this planet, saving the hospitals, saving the insane asylums, saving the poor people. It doesn't cost you anything once you get it going. All you got to do is just get the system, turn on my music, and walk away. Let people get in alone, and I'll save them. Yeah, it's not up to you. It has nothing to do with you, but you have to be charitable. I can't put a pyramid in every single home. I can't put an etheric weaver in every single person's hand. But humanity can, if they were humane and understood what I'm talking about. And this is the lowest cost saving of humanity you'll ever imagine. Yeah? Yeah? So it's like homeopathy. It's an essence. It is the lowest cost medicine, but it's the best medicine. Yeah? And no one uses it. Simply because they want to follow a diet. They're more worried about a diet rather than taking a pill and wait 8 years for it to have its effect and put faith in God and energy and not find fault in every single little thing that comes up in your life. And then it turns out into an imperiled miasm that manifests into a disease or something, and you've antidoted your homeopathic or you antidoted your blessing from a blessed person. Yeah, which happens every day. Yeah, so I put these tools out to protect you, so that you won't antidote, so that you'll be given the opportunity to continue receiving in an orderly fashion. You could turn the music on, you can have it 24/7, you can have the etheric weaver, you can bring it out to help another person. Yeah, all those things are charity. Yeah, it's an influence of charity. Yeah. So if we move in that direction, we'll move in the probationary path, just the probationary path. And that's where people are in state of charity. That's where really wealthy people are entrepreneurs to philanthropers. Yeah. But it takes every average person to move their heart in charity to get the really big assholes to move their heart in philanthropy. Does it make sense? Yeah. So I'm helping by adding it right to the average person. The average person can help change that really badass, mean person who's super wealthy, has gazillions of dollars, but isn't doing anything to build a monastery in the world or to feed children. Yeah, that's got to change. Yeah, and it's not about making people feel guilty. It's about charity, and it all starts with you. Yeah, does that make sense? Okay, so cool. Thank you. Have a nice day.